Welcome back to the Two Dudes and a Podcast, where we show prehistoric bitches how it's done downtown. And this week we're talking about Ghostbusters.
From 1984.
1984
Not
Ghostbusters.
the 2016
Not
Ghostbusters.
the 2016. Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I saw that in theaters.
I think... Oh, we should introduce my brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Brannon's brother.
Yeah, this is Solomon.
Hello.
He says hello.
Hello. Yeah. Solomon has been brought on because, according to Brannon, he's our resident expert on Ghostbusters.
Yeah. You know the plasma series Ghostbusters?
He's got them all.
He's got all four of the Busters.
He's got them.
All four of the Ghostbusters.
Why'd they only pack Winston with a proton effect?
I don't know, but I made other proton effects for
with like
for the rest of
bendy
them.
wire, the fuzzy bendy wire,
pipe cleaners.
Yeah, pipe cleaners.
Yeah.
That's smart.
They look pretty cool.
That's pretty smart.
I took one of his Winston proton beam though, and I stuck the end of it into my Megatron fusion cannon. That looks really cool.
Multi-purpose effects.
Multi-purpose. But you've seen the 2016 Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of that one?
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It was just a movie. I just think of it as a movie. I was like, I don't know. I thought the four actors they chose to play the Ghostbusters, it's like, oh, those are four good actors. You know,
I don't
they
really know
can be
much.
funny.
I don't know much about them. I know we tried to watch the 2016 Ghostbusters a couple years ago, and we couldn't get through it.
I was in theaters, so I was kind of captive.
Yeah, we
audience.
What did we got like a 3-pack of all three movies at Walmart for like $5.
Yeah.
And the case is marketed as being all three Ghostbusters films, but it's really kind of only talks about the first original two, and like they put the
and then the third one was like a bonus. It's like the first two for $5, and you get the third one for free.
Kind of. They just wanted it out there, I guess.
I mean, yeah.
Wasn't the 2016 one like loose in the case?
Yeah, like it was its own separate disc. The first two are on their own disc, and when I opened it today, I didn't see the 2016 disc. I don't even think we have it anymore.
Or it's lost in a DVD player somewhere.
We don't even care.
I mean, I'm not gonna bash the film like unnecessarily, like I see a lot of people do.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't even have a problem with like women Ghostbusters. It's like that's not a problem. That's not an issue at all.
That's not
like,
an issue in of itself.
That's not an issue in and of itself.
It's like the new one coming out.
It's like Solomon said. It's not an issue in and of itself. It's just
the writing was kind of...
It was just a weird movie because it's like a reboot.
Although I kind of figured out what the problem with it was. It was that Dan Aykroyd, Ray Stantz, one of co-creator of Ghostbusters, approved the script and everything. He was one of the executive producers for the 2016 movie. But what ended up happening is that the director and the producers wanted to do two different things, and that ended up costing a lot more money, and then it didn't make that back.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt like a random movie I watched.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the only thing linked to Ghostbusters that I have ever seen until this 1984 movie.
Speaking of
which is amazing.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's
10 out of 10 in my opinion.
I put it at 11 out of 10 when I rewatched it today.
It's not 11.5.
I watched it last night while eating dinner. And that's one of the best experiences I've had watching a movie in a while. I did not expect anything to happen in that movie that I thought. I was like, Bill Murray's in it, Dan Aykroyd, you know,
Harold Ramis.
He kind of just like popped in. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
And the movie was actually written by him and
Dan Aykroyd.
And was it John Belushi who was the other Blues Brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be Egon. Yeah, the Blues Brothers right behind you.
Yeah.
John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. John Belushi was supposed to be Egon, but then he died just before they started writing it or something.
Yeah.
And so then Egon, or Harold, I know him as Egon, got to be Egon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harold Ramis was Egon. Winston Zeddemore, played by
Ernie Hudson.
Yeah. Lovely actors.
You know, he's Agent Fowler.
And
Transformers Prime.
Okay. Yep. That's a cool link now.
Yeah. There's also other links to Transformers, but I won't get into them right now.
We're not going to get into that right now.
Not right now.
It's all about Ghostbusters.
All
My
about
phone's
Ghostbusters.
going off. I'm gonna mute that real quick. So Ghostbusters. This is our first annual Halloween episode.
Oh yeah.
In the car today when I was coming here to record and do real work, I was thinking, I was like, every year we need to do a Halloween episode and release it on like Halloween, the week of Halloween.
Gotcha.
Or like that's gonna be the episode for the week is whenever Halloween is.
Gotcha.
So, I was thinking, I was like, this is pretty cool. We got to do something Halloween related every year, and it's like something related to supernatural in a movie. It can be a horror movie, action movie, as long as it's related to the supernatural element.
Could it be
that
like
Halloween
Doctor Strange?
entails? I mean, nah. It's gotta have like some sort of ghost.
I'd suggest Hellboy, but I hated that movie.
I mean, don't want to watch that.
No,
so.
just read the books. It's better.
Maybe we wait a whole other year to do Ghostbusters too.
Ooh, maybe. But at that point, the third one will be out. The real third one.
Yeah, Afterlife.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for that?
I did.
Okay, cool.
I got inspiration for the Instagram post teasing this episode. From that trailer, the music bit.
Okay, yeah.
That I used at the beginning.
I think you used the orchestral theme. Or the one from the movie.
At the beginning of Ghostbusters, you get a funky little theme.
That's not the actual theme.
It's not the actual theme song. The Ghostbusters theme is written by Ray Parker Jr.
Yep.
Performed by him too. Of course.
Was it written for that movie? Do you know?
I don't see why
it probably was. That was something they did.
But it's become such a staple in Halloween culture that, like, when Halloween rolls around, it's not uncommon for a Halloween playlist to have the Ghostbusters theme in it.
That's because, Ghostbusters was... I think it was just... I can't
Ghostbusters
say this.
It
was big. Just one of those movies that was big, and it has ghosts in it. What also has ghosts? Halloween.
Wow.
I wonder if this was big in like Mexico because of Dia de los Muertos. But I feel like they handle that. That's more of an afterlife type of thing.
This was different, definitely. So, what was your favorite scene of the movie?
Oh God,
there are too many to pick.
Favorite scene of the movie. It has to do with my favorite line, which we referenced in the opening of this podcast. They're on top of the apartment building.
Yeah.
And Gozer just came out of the portal.
Gozer.
And they're all just standing there, and it's like they're just like, okay. And then Bill Murray's like, "All right, boys, let's show this prehistoric bitch how it's done downtown." And I'm like, "Yep."
That's going in the folder of things to quote.
That's going in the folder of things to quote. I did not expect Bill Murray's character at all.
Oh, Dr. Vinkman is great.
He's like a bit of a scumbag, but not so much that you hate him. He's like he's like the good type of scumbag. And it's like scumbag isn't even a word you can use to describe him, but he's just he's a little scummy here and there, but he's also like,
how do you describe
he's very sarcastic.
He's so dry and I love it.
Yeah. He's very sarcastic, and he does not take anything seriously.
No.
Ever.
My favorite line? You want to know my favorite line?
What?
It's when they're talking to the mayor, and Ray calls the guy dickless, and then the mayor asks, "Is this true?" And then Vinkman's like, "Yes, it's true. This man has no dick."
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones, too. Isn't it Vinkman who has the cats and dogs living together mass hysteria line?
My favorite. One of many, of course. But
yeah. What's another one of your favorites?
Part where Janine asks Egon if he has any hobbies, and he replies with, "I collect mold spores and fungi." Yeah,
I liked Egon the whole time. The secretary's just like hitting on him the whole time, and he's just like,
Janine,
I collect mold, spores, and fungus.
He's just kind of like.
Also,
he takes everything so literally.
Yeah, Egon. Egon's great.
He's my favorite character.
even though I think he understands that she's hitting on him, he's just like, I'm going to give you the most plain answer ever.
He is the biggest nerd ever.
Yeah.
While simultaneously being the biggest Chad ever.
He kind of is. He's pretty dope.
We got to tell you about the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
I've seen animation from that. The character models are wildly different.
Yeah, but it's so great. It was on Netflix for a time, and Solomon here binged as much of it as he could before it went off. And there's an episode with the boogeyman. And some kids are haunted by the boogeyman, and they walk through New York to get to the firehouse, and they go up to the Ghostbusters room and everything. Like they break into the firehouse.
Yeah.
And then they talk to the Ghostbusters, and Vinkman's like, okay, a boogeyman. What's the pay here? And then Egon is like, the boogeyman. And he clenches his fist, and he's like, we're doing this for free. He has a personal vendetta with the boogeyman.
That's funny.
You want to tell them about the episode they go to hell?
They go to hell?
Yeah, they go to hell. And Winston starts to say, so this is... and then Vinkman cuts him off and says, swell, people are always telling me I should come here.
Yeah.
They go to hell. And then Vinkman's like, sweet, everyone's telling me I'm supposed to go here.
That sounds like something Vinkman would say.
Oh, boy.
Gosh... The movie, I didn't expect, I thought Sigourney Weaver was gonna tie into, the villain role somehow.
She kind of did.
No, I just didn't expect it. I thought she was gonna end up being the villain or something.
Yeah.
Or possessed by a villain,
Yeah,
which she was. But I was also just okay, Sigourney Weaver's in this movie.
Zool.
Yeah,
Not to be confused with Jewel.
This movie, the way it is, it feels like all the actors in it are new to acting, but it's all these people had hit movies before Ghostbusters came out.
What are you talking about? The people acting in that movie had to be able to act to pull off those roles, man.
I know. It's all of them, it feels like they're cool newcomers with the way the movie feels, but You look at the names, it's this had some star power behind it.
Yeah, Rick Moranis. Dude had to act like an idiot.
Yeah.
For a good half of the movie.
Yeah. He's kind of good at that.
He's good at that. He's in Spaceballs. He's Dark Helmet.
Yeah, I know who Rick Moranis is.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah, he's kind of good.
Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet.
Spaceballs. Okay.
That's how they salute.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while since.
It's been a couple years since I've seen that.
I still haven't seen it in forever.
I wish I liked it.
But anyway, back to
that
Ghostbusters.
is such a dumb movie in the best way possible.
You got anything about Ghostbusters?
Give us some facts. Do you got any fun facts?
Oh, there's a
Speaking to the mic.
There's a system of classifying ghosts, and it goes 1 through 7, with 1 being basically harmless, a phenomenon like wisps of ectoplasm
or random voices out of nowhere and whatnot.
Animated,
2, or keep going.
Class 2 is things like disembodied floating hands or sheets that live.
Yeah, animated objects.
Okay.
Don't do a whole lot, but can still interact with the physical plane. Class 3 is things that have a human form, but they don't have their identity. They're basically just going through the motions, typically.
Yeah, a good example of that is, you remember the scene where there's the ghost on top of Ray in his bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a class 3 ghost. And so she doesn't have a personality. She's just going through the motions.
Okay.
So it gives you an idea of what she was doing when she was alive.
Okay.
Yeah. And
gotcha.
Class 4?
Class 4 is basically class 3s, but they still retain the previous identity. Like, if the ghost of Blackbeard were to come back with a big old pirate ship and everything, he would be a class 4.
I think you see more class 4s in the second one.
Probably.
Like Vigo and the Scolari brothers.
Yeah.
So would a class 3 be like the librarian ghost?
That was actually... Is that a 3 or a 4?
I don't know.
You don't see a lot of it, but
because it didn't really have a personality.
Not
but it was
really.
going through the motions.
The card game we have classifies it as a 4.
Yeah.
But of what I saw in the movie, it'd be more of a 3.
Yeah.
So what's Slimer? What's this man?
That's the next one.
Class 5. It's basically inhuman blobs of ectoplasm.
Okay.
That can still...
Or like...
So like...
They're kind of like specters that don't have a
kind of like
humanoid
the
form.
Ghostbusters logo.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
that ghost would look like.
He has a name. Did you know that?
That ghost has a name?
Yeah. You want to know?
What's the name?
It starts with an M. It's Moogly.
Moogly.
Yeah, Moogly. He's technically class 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not humanoid shapes. They're kind of like weird poltergeists.
Yeah.
They're just kind of there to mess with things.
Like Slimer. Yeah, he just kind of goes around and eats.
Yeah.
Yep. And then there's class 6.
Class 6. You don't see a lot of class 6, but it's basically ghosts of animals and other other lesser life forms.
Like a giant penguin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then class 7 is things like demons and like...
So like Gozer.
Yeah. Gozer, Zool, Vins.
Okay.
The Terror Dogs. Yeah, those are all class 7s.
Samhain.
Oh, yeah, Samhain. The cartoon
Sandman.
gets into a lot of stuff. Like the Spirit of Halloween.
Yeah.
It's wild. There's a whole Ghostbusters lore. There was an RPG, tabletop RPG like Dungeons and Dragons back in the 80s.
I mean, the movie was big.
It was big.
If you go to a Comic-Con, like I went to a couple Comic-Cons in Nashville, and they literally have a Tennessee Ghostbusters division.
Oh.
It's like the 501st, but with Ghostbusters costumes.
That's pretty cool. I know there's one in New York.
Well, of course there's one in New
I
York.
know,
That's
right?
where the movie takes place.
Right? Yeah.
This movie was really good, and I'm gonna pause recording. All right, we're back.
Okay.
Someone just walked in, so I didn't want to
We're good.
get a bunch of random stuff going on. Ghostbusters. I gotta say, this movie, I went in expecting one thing and got another.
Yeah.
Especially with like the characters. Like, I don't know.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. Like,
It's a very weird movie. It takes a theme that you think would be darker and grimmer and turns it into a comedy.
yeah.
It does. Like, the undead. It deals with that and the afterlife pretty much. And then you get Vinkman, who's like, this man has no dick.
Yeah, Vingman just goes around, roasts everybody, and makes like big deals into nothing.
And they're all funny in their own right, too.
Dan Aykroyd, who plays Ray Stantz, to me, I felt like he was the guy who was a kid at heart throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because like when in the firehouse, he's like, "Oh my gosh, there's a pole."
Does this
And
thing
he
work?
slides down the pole and everything, and it's
can
just like,
move it.
okay.
Yeah.
He likes this job basically.
He does. Yeah.
And he wants to do this.
He's very passionate about ghosts.
He likes ghosts, which Vinkman, he isn't even like a real doctor, is he?
No, he's a womanizer. That's it.
Yep.
But I love how most of the women in the movie kind of deal with that. Like, Janine just stares at him the whole time.
The secretary?
Yeah.
Just stares at him?
Yeah, she just, like, judgmentally stares at him the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everybody just kind of looks at him like... Yeah,
Nobody really takes him seriously.
everybody
It is
just...
New York.
Whenever there's
That's
a
true.
woman near and Vinkman's, like, trying to put the moves on her, everybody's just looking at him like, he's doing his shtick again.
Yeah.
That's New York for you, though.
That's the bedroom. Nothing ever happened in there. What a crime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember when he's messing with the piano?
Yeah, he's like, they hate this.
I love messing with them.
And then he, like, goes there and, like, you know, Sigourney Weaver's character, Dana,
Mhm.
is possessed by, like, the gatekeeper,
Yeah.
whatever. And she's like, let me have sex with you, lesser being. And he's like, hold on a second. I need to talk to Dana. He's like, she's like, I want you inside of me, mortal. And he's like, I think there's more than one person inside of you already. And I'm just like, this guy, how is this guy cracking jokes to a possessed woman? He just he doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't. I mean, like, let's show this bitch how we do things downtown.
Yeah.
That's prehistoric.
Nah, Bill Murray definitely came out of it being my favorite character. I
have a hard time picking a favorite character.
I also liked Winston because he just kind of joins in the middle of it, and he just brings
Winston is
I'm just a normal guy who needed a job, and now I'm here, and it's like I think it's a crime that he joined halfway through the movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
I wish he would have joined earlier.
He's underrated for sure,
and I hope in the second one I get to see more of him. Because he had a really cool conversation with Ray Stantz in a car about how he's like, man, you ever read the Bible? I like Jesus' style and all this. And he's like, I think we might be experiencing revelations.
Oh, no.
And then Dan Aykroyd's like, shit, man, think you might be onto something.
How about some music?
Yeah, I'm going to turn on the radio so I don't have to think about that for too long. The proton pack, cool weapon.
Cool.
I love its power on noise.
Yeah.
It's got a good just hum to it.
We went to church with a girl once that made a proton pack.
Yeah.
She had a full jumpsuit and made her own proton pack.
Probably part of the Tennessee Ghostbusters division.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know.
I haven't.
She could probably join.
Probably. It was a really good proton pack too.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. The ones I saw at that Comic-Con, it's like they were like, "Hey, you want to sign up?"
They're pretty easy to
You gotta
make.
buy. You can buy we have people that make proton packs, and you can buy the suits and stuff from us.
That'd be pretty cool.
I think Hasbro's probably gonna make that though, because Hasbro is coming out with the Ghost Trap.
Yeah, they've got a Ghost Trap and a PKE meter and a proton gun.
Oh, they have the wand part.
Mm-hmm. They have the wand part. I haven't seen it before.
They don't have the backpack yet, but that's probably
the backpack.
Yeah, that'd probably be a HasLab watch.
They did have. I think they reproduced the Kenner proton pack. I saw that once.
Neat.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. They do some wild stuff.
They do. Ivan Reitman directed this one.
Mm-hmm.
He did the second one too, right?
Pretty sure.
And then his son is doing the third one.
Yeah.
And then back at Toy Fair, I think this year they gave Ivan and Jason Reitman.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave them Plasma Series Ghostbusters figures. That was of themselves as Ghostbusters.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
They just made a simple body and popped on photo.
I think they had their name tags and everything.
I mean, yeah,
too. It was pretty good.
Of course,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
They should have a market for that.
Yeah,
it's like $50, and you can have yourself as a Ghostbuster.
that'd be wild.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't think I could get my face on a Transformer and be happy with that.
No, it'd be weird.
Yeah.
That's more of if you're gonna make a custom Transformer thing,
Do it
it's
yourself.
create. Excuse me, sorry. That's a thing where you go in and you have so many parts you can pick from.
Mm-hmm.
You choose the colors and whatnot. And it's $50. You own deluxe class.
Gotcha.
It's I know $50 is a lot of money,
That's
but
a
it's
lot
also
for a deluxe class, man.
it's also you're picking the colors.
It's like buying your own custom car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
That's that
Let's
big.
see.
But Ghostbusters, 10 out of 10 in my opinion. If you're gonna watch something this Halloween, watch Ghostbusters. If you're gonna marathon, if you marathon movies on Halloween, throw Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
1984. Throw that in there
If you
because
want, throw in the second one too. It's good as well.
if you watch a bunch of horror movies and maybe you want to take a break, get another type of genre in there of a supernatural related movie.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters is perfect because it's got comedy. It's got it all.
Prime example.
You're gonna like the characters. Ghostbusters, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Rip to Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis.
Rip
Yes.
to him. He
Rest in
directed
peace.
Groundhog Day.
He directed Groundhog Day.
He did, yeah.
Which stars Bill Murray.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You want some of my pop culture circles?
Yeah, give us the pop culture
Okay,
circle.
so we mentioned the real Ghostbusters cartoon
Yeah.
from the 80s. Well, Bill Murray plays Peter Venkman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the real Ghostbusters, Peter Venkman is voiced by a guy who voiced Garfield in the animated Garfield cartoon. And then you fast forward to the live-action Garfield movie. Garfield is voiced by Bill Murray.
You just ran circles around me.
And then there's the IDW Ghostbusters comics,
Mm-hmm.
where Ray Stantz has a spirit buddy. He's a ghost, and he's the ghost of basically Blues Brothers style John Belushi.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Then, did you hear in the movie when there's the ghost fever going around in the 1984 movie? You got the people in the news covering it.
Yeah.
And then you've got the guy over the radio that was Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
That was Shaggy. The original Shaggy.
Oh, gosh.
And he's also the original Cliff Jumper, and he's also the original Teletran 1.
Teletran 1, what's that from?
That's the Autobot supercomputer.
Okay.
Basically.
For some reason, I was like, I feel like that's a computer from Ninja Turtles.
No. But the Ghostbusters met the Ninja Turtles a couple years ago in the comic books.
The Ninja Turtles have met everybody. What are you talking about?
That's true.
They in the 90s they crossed over with the Power Rangers. They crossed over with Batman.
I still haven't read
They crossed
any of
over
those.
with the Power Rangers again recently.
Whoa.
Crossover with Batman twice.
They did
Technically
Batman
3 times.
Really?
They did 2 comic series and an animated movie.
The Ninja Turtles have met everybody in the fucking multiverse.
Oh boy. They even met... No, they didn't meet Mortal Kombat. Well, they kind of did in Injustice. You could fight Raiden.
Technically, yeah, they
they
crossed over
Batman.
with basically the Mortal Kombat universe.
Yeah.
They could also fight Sub-Zero.
Yeah, that's true. They also could fight Hellboy. Whoa.
Gosh.
Turtle Mania.
Turtle Mania.
All right, so
Still think
Ghostbusters,
it's a fact.
I give it a 10 out of 10. Put it on your Halloween watch list. It's like if you want to watch a bunch of horror movies, that's cool, and you don't want to watch Ghostbusters, that's cool. But if you ever want to if you just want to have a bunch of Halloween movies, throw Ghostbusters in there. And if you want to take a break from the horror binge, throw Ghostbusters in there. It's a good taste breaker if that's what you need.
Actually, if you watch this movie, you've got taste.
Yeah.
You've got good taste.
All right. Favorite character from that, Peter Venkman. Favorite quote, let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do it downtown. My score, 10 out of 10 on that line alone, but a 10 out of 10 out of a whole. Ghostbusters, 1984, directed by Ivan Reitman. 10 out of 10. What do you give it, Brannon?
Me? I give it an 11 out of 10. This movie is just great. What else is there about it? It's funny, and the characters are unique, but it's a great combination of unity and variety. They've all got the same look, but not at the same time and stuff. And then you've got some pretty good character development, I'd say. And then you've also got it's fun.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
It's just so fun.
Solomon?
Ghostbusters is easily in my top 5 favorite movies.
Okay.
Of all time?
Of all time.
Where's it at? 5 to 1? Or is it in the middle?
It's somewhere in the middle.
What's number
So
1?
3.
UHF.
Oh, yeah,
obviously.
UHF.
All right.
That's a good one.
Classic.
So, moving on from Ghostbusters. That's our little
What else
Halloween
has happened
segment.
this week?
What else has happened this week? Well, today,
Something big.
when we're recording this, is
Friday.
Friday, October 30th, and I stayed up until 2 a.m. last night
Me too.
and watched episode 1 of season 2 of The Mandalorian.
The Marshal.
10 out of 10.
Chapter 9, The Marshal.
Yeah.
This was 10 out of 10.
There were so many moments where I was freaking out during it.
Oh, it was... Are we going to talk... We can talk minor spoilers. Can we? Can we mention...
No, don't mention names. Just
Gotcha.
small plot
What about-
details. So basically, Mando goes back to Tatooine in this episode,
Yeah. But wait.
and you get recurring characters.
Before he goes back to Tatooine, he goes to this one place where
he
there's
goes to a fight club.
a Gamorrean
Fight
fight club, basically, and he talks to this one-eyed guy, which his species was in the cantina originally. Yeah.
It's like
So
Yeah.
pretty much the only.
So basically, Mando goes to a
time.
fight club and gets information from this guy. because he's looking for other Mandalorians. That leads him to Tatooine. You get the person from the first Tatooine episode in season 1, like the
pit
hangar
droids.
bay girl with the pit droids.
Mm-hmm.
She's back, which I thought was cool. You take over. I gotta send a text.
Okay. So we're talking about the pit droids.
Pit droid.
Let's see what happens after that. You've watched it, right?
Yeah.
And then where does he have to go? What's the name of the place? Mos
Pelgo.
Mos Pelgo.
Mos Pelgo.
Which is a new town.
New town. That's what I liked about this episode.
Yeah.
We got to see some more of Tatooine.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And the Sand People. That was cool. Communicating with the Sand People.
Yeah, the Sand People have been characterized by this show more than anything else.
Yeah, but
I'm ready for one of the Sand People, a Tusken Raider, just take their fucking helmet off.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but I do like how they've characterized them. It's that one of the issues one of my diehard Star Wars fan uncles had with the first season was that he communicated with the Tusken Raiders, even though Tusken Raiders are typically not negotiable. But you see that it's not normal to communicate with them. The Mandalorian can, but the other native towns members of on Tatooine
I think
don't seem to be able to do that.
The Mandalorian, the weight that comes with that title of being a Mandalorian demands respect from even the most non-negotiable.
It's one fierce warrior communicating with another fierce warrior.
Yeah. It's two people that kill for a living.
Exactly. But it's very easy for the other humans and townsmen to get aggravated with the Tusken Raiders, and they can't communicate with them as easily.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I love that.
So, he goes to this town. He meets the Marshal. No names will be mentioned for spoiler reasons.
This episode was so much more spaghetti western.
It was.
Because he literally rides into town in the middle of nowhere.
This is a plot point that I feel comfortable revealing. You get to see a crate dragon for the first time in Star Wars.
Is this the first time you get to see actual Womp Rats?
Yeah, first time you see Womp Rats.
I loved that.
Yeah,
There's a speeder made out of pod racing engine.
Yes.
Some cool designs per usual with the Mandalorian. But
and I love how it's utilizing things.
The crate dragon travels underground. That is what is revealed in this.
Yep.
And it goes through this Mos Pelga town, right through the center of town. And I'm sitting here thinking, holy shit, Sarlacc pits move.
Oh boy.
No, it's just a crate dragon, which is
yeah.
kind of scarier.
Oh, it was...
Because a Sarlacc pit does not move, but a crate dragon can eat a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
So
that's terrifying.
Technically, is it the Sarlacc pit, or does the Sarlacc just live in the pit?
The Sarlacc lives in the pit, so they call the whole pit the Sarlacc pit.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a Sarlacc in the pit.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That makes sense to me.
But the Sarlacc pit you see is like vertical. It's not in the ground.
I think they
perpendicular with the ground.
I think Sarlacc pits can be multiple different ways because
the
Sarlacc that they mentioned, the crate dragonate, was like in a hole, kind of horizontal.
Yep.
Well, more horizontal, vertical. Like angled down.
It's like
but the entrance is like at a cave
was in the
wall,
side of a cliff, basically.
Basically. And I'm just like, okay, I believe it. I don't know how biology works in Star Wars. I'm not going to read.
It's not totally out of the
I'm not going to read a 1500 Star Wars college book.
Yeah.
About alien biology in this universe.
It might sound like I'm complaining about the Sarlacc pit, but I'm really not. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah. So this crate dragon lives where Sarlacc pit does, and one of my favorite things about this season, 52-minute episode 1.
How long was the other ones?
The first episode of season 1 was like 32 minutes.
Oh, okay. I totally missed that. So you want to know my honest thought about this first episode and just Mandalorian? I think this is the single most ambitious Star Wars project I've ever seen.
It's great.
It's like the CGI.
I'm yawning, but it's great.
The CGI was amazing.
The CGI is good. I mean, they got ILM working their asses off.
Yeah. I honestly think it looked better than The Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, it did.
What about the other two?
What other two?
The sequels. Unless if we just don't want to pretend they exist.
I don't know. I'm not going to compare Mandalorian to those movies. Mandalorian's in a league of its own.
That's true.
Compared to those. My cousin actually texted me. He's like, "Too bad the movies couldn't be as good as the TV show."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And
TV shows
this
are the way to
this
go.
first episode of Mandalorian, you know what that makes my excitement go up for?
What?
Kenobi.
Kenobi.
It makes me go over the freaking moon for Kenobi.
You know who directed this first episode of Mando?
No.
I missed it too.
It might have been Jon Favreau.
Probably.
I think Jon Favreau directed most of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you have like some returning directors. Like I think Rick Famuyiwa was back.
Mm-hmm. Did you see them
I
play
forgot the
with
lady's
the
name.
widescreen?
What widescreen?
You know, most of the episode was in a widescreen shot, like a traditional spaghetti western.
Yeah.
But there's a point where it expands to the full screen.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
That was cool.
At the end and the beginning of the episode, right?
Maybe.
I know at the end when he's traveling across the Tatooine desert.
It cuts down to widescreen.
And
Yeah,
then, and then some crazy shit happens, but we're not going to talk about that. That's next week. Next week is spoilers for Mandalorian. I'll give you 3 words in the intro. The 3 words that I told my
Magic
friend
words.
that I watched it with last night.
Can we give a hint?
No hints.
Okay,
No
hints.
hints.
No hints.
No hints.
But
But, oh boy.
sent me over the moon. I was screaming at 2 a.m. I'm glad I didn't wake my parents up. But
I can barely contain myself.
mm,
Let's move on.
let's move on.
Move on before we
Let's move
accidentally
on.
spoil
But
anything.
Mandalorian,
Episode.
dope as hell as always.
Oh boy.
As
It was
always.
just, I was maybe a little worried going in to watch it. I was like, oh, I hope
kinda
they
was,
haven't
too.
lost momentum or anything. Nope,
Yeah.
picks right back up.
No, it hit the
everything.
Ground. It hit the ground speeding.
Lil Yod is just chilling,
the music
being
was
cute as ever.
interesting.
The music is just
It's
great.
just doing its own thing.
Ludwig
Ludwig something.
Göransson, whatever.
I also did.
Keep.
Black Panther.
Excuse me, I'm burping now. Ludwig, keep on producing that straight fire.
Keep on
Fire.
doing it, man.
That Mando theme, everything. Oh my gosh. Just great.
It's just French kiss.
All right. Mando episode 1. What do you rate, man?
Shut up.
What do you rate? What do you rate
Chef's
season
kiss.
2 episode 1
Episode 1,
of
chapter
season
9.
2?
Season
Yeah,
2.
it's called chapter 9 because
I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. What
Me
about
too.
you?
10 out of 10 easily.
Gotcha.
Return to Mandalorian form.
Holy, this
Wonderful.
is the way.
This
Mhm.
is the way.
This is the way. Whew. So, now what?
Now what? Well,
what
we
time
kind
we
of
at?
we right now we're looking at like a 40-minute episode,
Oh, well.
Pretty good length. It's Halloween. We don't want to keep people held up. They got to go out and get candy.
That's true.
Safely get candy.
Safely, unless if you
Where?
want to talk about a Western movie me and Solomon watched.
What movie? Maybe I'll watch it and we can talk about
Tombstone.
it.
It was
Tombstone.
really good.
I'm going to watch that for the show.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
So it's Halloween. Not when we're recording this, but the day it's dropping, Halloween. Be safe out there if you go out. There is a global freaking pandemic going on.
Wear costumes that include masks.
A fun fact, little small towns like ours are suffering spikes because our little small towns feel a little too comfortable and don't wear a mask. So if you're going to go out...
Although we had 300, over 300 cases a couple months ago.
We did. They've gone down.
And then
But I don't know if we have a central testing location anymore.
Hmm.
Because back when they spiked,
Mm-hmm.
we were testing a lot more.
That's true.
Because it's like it's not going away anytime soon.
It's probably never going to go away.
Well, probably not. That's not how a virus really works.
Exactly.
It kind of
We'll
just
just
stays.
get used to it
We'll
eventually.
just get used to it.
We'll give vaccines.
Exactly. Something
It's just
like that.
flu 2.
Yeah.
Flu 2.
We're experiencing what
the
happened
electric
when
flu-galoo.
we are experiencing what happened when the flu first showed up.
Yeah.
Along with many other diseases and viruses.
Like the Spanish flu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're experiencing something that happens to humans over time. It's like history. It loves to repeat itself. It loves to rhyme.
Yeah.
History and Star Wars are similar because they love to rhyme.
Yes. That's not always a good thing, though.
No, it's not.
I mean, you don't rhyme with rhyme, you know? You rhyme with time.
That's just the sequels.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're going to a party, be safe, you know.
Don't do anything stupid.
And if you have COVID, stay the F home.
Watch Ghostbusters.
Watch Ghostbusters.
And The Mandalorian.
Because if you're probably be miserable. By the way, my social problems teacher tested positive for COVID, and we had a 26-minute class the other day because I could tell she was miserable. I hope she gets well soon.
Well, let's hope you don't get it.
It was Zoom. It was a Zoom class.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I'm going to have digital COVID.
Nice.
Now, I don't have any on-ground classes.
Can COVID-19 affect our computers? It is a virus. I'm being serious. Can it? I'm getting funny looks from Jackson.
Uh-huh. That's funny. It's real funny.
Funny guy.
I'm gonna give you a congratulations for that.
I had a guy at Walmart convinced that I didn't know who Gandalf was. It was super easy too.
Walmart. All right. So if you're going out, be safe.
Yeah.
Make sure your kids are safe if they're going out. If you're going to like a church function, you know, have fun. Have fun and be safe is all I'm saying. You know, I don't want to sound like a boomer right here, but if you have kids, make sure they ain't eating razors in their candy. I know that's a very rare thing that happens.
Who puts razors in their candy?
I don't know. It's just a thing that, like...
It's
a thing that parents are always told. Weird. It's like, parents, check your kid's candy. I found this in it. It's like... I mean, yeah.
I found an entire Nickelback concert in my kid's sneakers last
year.
I
think... I found a whole... Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. I found a whole-ass Nickelback concert in this Snickers bar. But be safe. Have fun. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Hope you're dressing up. Solomon is wearing part of his costume right now. Solomon is dressing up as Skeletor from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Brannon, are you dressing up?
I'll be a Walmart associate.
That's a good costume.
I get money for it, so...
You get paid to dress up?
I get money.
Brandon getting paid to dress up as a Walmart associate.
Yes.
I am dressing up as Huey from The Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a very generic costume, but I got a Billy Joel shirt out of it.
Is mine more generic than yours?
Mine is just street clothes.
That's true.
So you at least have a Walmart vest on, and maybe a face mask.
Oh, yeah. I lost my Optimus and Megatron. I don't know where it went.
Gone.
I guess. I hope not. I liked it.
But I'm dressing up as Huey, and I'm going to a person's party at a church with my girlfriend, and she's dressing up as Starlight, which I find it very funny that we're dressing from one of the most crude superhero TV shows and going to a church. Nobody's going to understand it.
Well, they might.
I feel like they might. If they're not prudes, they're gonna be like, "Hey, that's a good TV show."
A good TV show.
I feel like some of the people, because I dressed up as Silent Bob last year and went to Brannon's church's little function. Some guy's like, "Are you Silent Bob?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say yeah. I nodded my head because I was Silent Bob.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I feel like some people there would get it. Unfortunately, the world said no to that this year. So,
oof.
I was gonna be like, hey, you know how last year you had a Transformers table?
Yeah.
Maybe I could make you a Marvel table this year.
Oh yeah. Oh, you probably could have made your own table or trailer trunk, because originally it was supposed to be a trunk or treat thing, but then it rained.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you could have brought your own car and done a Marvel Legends thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the table. I did better. They stand better on a table.
That's true. That's when you just get some wood planks and or boxes.
Yeah, something like
That's
that.
what I did a couple
the,
years ago.
The car shakes and then everybody falls over.
I did one in my mom's van a couple years ago. Had a bunch of boxes. Had like fishing line. Tied a bunch of jets to the ceiling.
Yeah, I need to do that with my collection, because either get some figure stands or something, because I have some flying characters I want to display as flying.
I got some good stands on Amazon, like 5-pack for about $20.
I haven't started looking, but thanks for the tip. So
I don't know if they're still $25.
Solomon, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Yes. You'll be back for Ghostbusters 2, I assume.
Maybe.
Unless you're busy.
Maybe.
I guess Brannon's gonna have a talk with Solomon after this. So thanks for coming on, Brannon. As always, co-host of the Two Dudes in a Podcast.
Yes.
Not the two dudes, but just two dudes in a podcast.
I'm one of the two dudes.
Yep.
1 out of 2, 1.5. No, not 1.5.
You can have half of me.
No, I'm good.
Have half of my soul, please.
No, I'm good.
Sustenance.
Your
for you.
soul is mine.
Yep. So, happy Halloween. Watch Ghostbusters. Have a good time. And be safe. And, Brannon, any final words?
Any final words? Stay fresh, cheese bags.